I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you're not listening to Feral Activity Podcast, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you need to stop whatever it is you're doing and go listen to Feral Activity Podcast right now. Right now, it's Feral Activity.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to Feral Activity Podcast. I'm going to go ahead and end this. We have a special guest today, and everyone is migrating from. Thank you for sharing our special guest. We once upon a time, we were going to have a throuple on the podcast, and so we decided to just take it one step further and get a polyam person. So, waiting for the voices of the jungle to make it in. Go ahead and, if you're in the comments, I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing it. I know some people, they're migrating from my husband's box battles, so hola, Andreña. But if you haven't checked out our podcast, we are on a couple of platforms so far. We just started this podcast this year, and it's been a fun ride, honestly. It really has. It's very, it's a fun thing to get to hold space for people and, just kind of ask questions to people that probably don't live your average life. Hey, Fire. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. Let me go ahead and share it again because I know they're supposed to be in here. Today we're going to hopefully have Silver with us. Silver Wolf, hopefully. But I do see that we have our guest here already, Mami Marie. And I'm excited to have this episode. We have a Snapchat group, so let me go ahead and but yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna ask some questions, and just go from there. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm excited to have a chat.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Hi, Callie.
There's one of the voices. One of the voices is, sure you've heard Callie. Oh, there's another one just popped in. It's going to be an interesting episode, that's for sure. We've been kind of waiting for this one for a while, haven't we, Callie?
Yes, we have.
Happy to be here.
We've been talking about it for a while, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to have Silver introduce you because he knows you a little bit better, but I don't know if he's busy. We might have to do another one with him or reschedule.
He's been a pretty busy guy lately.
Yeah, it seems pretty common right now. I mean, it is Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all of our feral friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even if you're just a dog mom or a plant mom or
just a dog mom.
I always even like to tell the dads that are single dads, happy Mother's Day, or I guess to them it would be happy Father's Day twice, but they're the mom and the dad at home, so happy Father's Day to all of our feral friends. Yeah. And happy Mother's Day. But, Silver hasn't made it in yet, but Callie, go ahead and I know you were really interested in this particular guest.
Mm-hmm.
You had some questions. Go ahead and take it away.
excuse me, what made you like discover that you were poly? Like, what made you say like, oh, I'm not just one person?
I think it's because I just come from a thought process of it's okay for partners to have different preferences, and just because I don't like something doesn't mean that my partner couldn't get it somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and get that need fulfilled. And if they feel better going to a separate partner for that, that's something that I'm okay with personally. Just like if my partner wasn't comfortable with something that I've been in the kink and BDSM lifestyle for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I have a broad range of kinks and fetishes that I prefer. And if there was something that my partner wasn't comfortable doing but was okay with me foreseeing seeking out in another partner,
Mm-hmm.
then I would do the same for them.
Okay. How many partners do you have? I mean, are there?
So currently I'm unpartnered.
Okay.
I have been kind of exploring being single or kind of being more monogamous as of late.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point I have had 3 partners.
Okay. When you did have the multiple partners, how did you, I want to say manage, like it's a company, but like divide your time between each one? And then have you ever had one get like jealous of another partner in terms of like, oh, they're getting more attention than I am. They're getting, more of your time. Like, how do you deal with that when you do have multiple partners?
Yeah, so one of the partners was my husband at the time. So I did have
Mhm.
a lot more time with him versus my other 2 partners. There is always a lot of communication that has to happen with partners. You always have to be
Mhm.
very open and honest. That really has to kind of be the forefront. And honestly, truthfully, a calendar works wonders.
Yeah. Have you ever had partners that don't live in like your city or your state or are long distance? And how, if you
Yeah.
have had that, like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So, on top of having my then husband, I had 2 long distance relationships with women.
Okay.
And there really just was making sure that there was kind of that time for
Okay.
all of my partners, taking that one-on-one time for them and doing things that we enjoyed together. And just like there was a little bit more communication like through social media with them versus like through like my husband at the time. We didn't obviously text as much as I would my other partners. So it's just you learn how to differentiate your attention.
Yeah. What are some of the most common misconceptions about people who are poly or are in poly relationships? Like people think, oh, just assume this because of the
Oh, that we're
norm.
just cheating.
Yeah.
Like that I'm just going out and like cheating on my what have you. Like the partner when I was
Hmm.
living with my husband, a lot of misconception was that I was just like cheating
Hmm.
on my then husband, but um a lot of people think that they just do it because they don't, you know, they want the stability that one person provides, but they want the fun that another, like it's very much a infidelity standpoint that a lot of people have on it.
Hmm.
Or a non-committal standpoint as well. A lot of people
Okay.
think that it's, oh, it's you just can't commit to one person.
Right.
And that's
Okay.
not true at
I
all.
guess not my final question, but one of my questions is: I know some relationships because I have other friends who are also poly, but not all of their relationships involve a sexual aspect. Some of it's just purely emotional and just being there for the person. And how do you like deal with that? Or have all of your relationships involved that, or if like it's
So
not
all of
initially part of
my
your the situation, how do you introduce the sexual aspect to it if you or the other person wants that?
communication again is such a huge forefront of being in a polyam relationship. There has to definitely be a lot of like sit down conversations. I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with that.
Right.
A lot of people majority of people will practice what's called closed door polyamory, which is if I don't see it, it doesn't happen and we don't have to talk about it. I think it can be done, but it needs to be very, very communicated with, because if not, that really can be just not very healthy to have closed door. Obviously, I wouldn't want, obviously I don't want to see my, I wouldn't want to see my then husband with, my girlfriend per se.
Right.
On a consistent basis. I could just know that it was happening and be okay with that. But communication is such a huge thing, especially when you are polyam. There is quite not to say a comorbidity, but it goes hand in hand with a lifestyle type relationship type dynamic.
Right.
So that's where even the communication just gets even more important.
Right. And then have you ever entered into a relationship with somebody and then because of whatever reason or reasons been like, okay, I don't like this person, like how do I deal with that, like, and yeah,
so you deal with that any other way you would with a relationship? Like you just decide, like you get into a relationship and you're like, oh, this isn't working out the way I thought it would. Usually for most people it's the most common form of polyamorous relationship would be a open, usually a V. So there's one person and there are two partners. So for me, there was me here and there was my ex-husband. And, like if I had a girlfriend, my ex-husband and my girlfriend did not interact, but they interacted with me, if that makes sense. There's also like triads or thruples where they all interact with each other. And there's so many multifaceted relationships with polyamory. So it really just is such a big conversation that you have to have with people about, what you want your polyamorous relationship to look like, what you want it to contain. But if there is not, if you get into a relationship, you start a dynamic with somebody and you find that it's not working, it really just goes back to that big communication piece and talking about it, being like, hey, this isn't working the way I thought it was. We're adults.
Right. So I guess my last question before I let everybody else ask theirs, or obviously, like you said, and you just kind of answered it a little bit. Obviously, the partners, whether there's 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many, yes, they know about the other people or person, but they don't know anything else beyond that, like information-wise. They don't know what they look like. They don't know their name. They never interact with each other. Like, how does that work?
So they would know parts of, so like my ex-husband would know my girlfriends. He would know things about them just because that was something that we decided as a couple at that time that we wanted to know. Like I didn't want to know the specifics of when he would go out and spend time with his partners. And he respected that I didn't want to know like everything about that. And he wouldn't ask me questions either that were like very deep. He kind of waited for those to be offered. I think it gets a really slippery slope when somebody says, oh, I have two partners, but they don't know about each other. That's a red flag. When you think of polyamory, that is not polyamory. That's cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. Yeah.
And then there's also the entire unicorn hunting situation, which is a whole other thing.
Okay, interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna. Those are my questions for now, so I'm gonna open up the floor to everybody else, so other people can ask questions. Since
What is this unicorn hunting? What is that?
So unicorn hunting is a deeply, in my thoughts, a deeply unsettling thing that people do in the efforts to claim polyamory, but is really not. So unicorn hunting is when a couple tries to go under the guise of polyamory in order to just get a third for usually purely sexual purposes. So they'll be out there like on the dating apps and they'll be like, this is Bob and Jane and we're looking for our special third. And that third usually ends up being the unicorn or the special one that gets to be over here. Well, we have a relationship and you stay over here, and we yoink you when we need you and we leave you when we don't. So it's really unhealthy, and a lot of people believe that that's polyamory, but it's not. Because if two people are in a relationship and one person's over here on this side and isn't fully included in the relationship, then it's just not healthy.
Yeah, I can see that. So one of my questions was, like, how did you just like one day think, like, I think I want more than one person, and what led you to that decision? Like, was it something that your husband did, or were you just curious and you still, had feelings for him, of course, so you wanted to explore something else? Like, how did you get to that point?
So, as a woman who identifies as bisexual, even to this day, when I was with my husband, I did have a lot of thoughts of what would it be like to have a girlfriend? What would it be like to be with a woman? And I was still very much in love with and devoted to my then husband. And I wanted kind of that space to explore that a little more freely, to kind of explore what it would be like to have a separate partner. To kind of fill that kind of desire that I was looking for, not in a, I love him and he's not doing this. It was just I'd like to see what this looks like. And again, we were in the lifestyle for a very long time. I still practice in the lifestyle. I don't know if he does. But it was just
So he was
really
in
just a way.
So whenever you wanted to explore that, he was, all for it.
Yeah. I do think, I can't say ours was the picture perfect relationship of polyamory, because there's a lot of men who get with bisexual women and they say, I'm okay with you having girlfriends, but heaven forbid you get a boyfriend, because that's a problem. So there is a little bit of fetishization with that, and being like, oh yeah, no, because male lizard brain says, oh, I want to see my girlfriend and another girlfriend, like,
Yeah. That's funny.
But with a lot of conversation and being like, okay, maybe they're not, maybe they don't want to engage in threesomes or things like that. It was just that, I think that's what got him into it. And then he was like, oh, okay, I said yes and we're rocking with it now. So, that was kind of what started it, really, was just like, hey, I want to explore being bisexual and, kind of what that entails for me. And yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you felt like you regretted exploring?
No, I had multiple. So I mainly had girlfriends. I had a couple boyfriends. I've had a few experiences, and not once do I look back on those. I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have just stayed monogamous.
So whenever, that's interesting, like, it's just a different, how did the other, like, whenever you met your girlfriend, like, what was the conversation like whenever you, like, met her and were like, oh, by the way, I'm married already? Like, how did that go?
So I actually started with some of my friends in the lifestyle group talking about, oh, I think I'm going to try polyamory. And then one of my friends very jokingly was like, oh, I'll be your girlfriend. And I was like, that's not a joke. You're my girlfriend now. And just kind of did it that way. I bounced around, and I was always very open about, like, hey, I'm married. However, it's an open relationship. We're polyamorous. And it's always something you bring up very quickly, because a lot of people do get a little, not to say freaked out about it, but it does kind of very much offset people. And as a person right now who is not exploring my polyamory and is currently pursuing a monogamous relationship, it is something like, if you don't say it right away and you're messaging for a while and then you're like, oh, by the way, I'm married. I'm like, well, that sucks. It all just goes back to that, communication piece for sure.
I'm sure, yeah. So whenever it did happen and everything, um, did you ever find yourself like, I know, I mean, you were already married, so was there ever a situation where like your husband got jealous or your girlfriend got jealous or like,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So when I had my boyfriends, my ex-husband, my then husband would get there would be a little bit of jealousy. But I think that really kind of moves back towards, we always joke about the fragile male ego and how that can be really hard for men to kind of get over that. It's not that I'm not good enough. It's just that this person provides something different for her that maybe I don't, and that's okay. So that was really difficult for him to grasp, especially towards the end of our time being polyamorous. Was really hard for him to understand. Like, it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't care for you. It's just that this person does something differently for me.
that makes sense. Was there ever a time where like someone got super super jealous and then they just ended things because they didn't, they wanted more than just they didn't want to share you, I guess?
I never experienced that because we were always very quick to have those conversations and really talk about like our boundaries and things. And in any time it ended was when like if somebody had come to me and was like, hey, I want to be monogamous with you, like leave your husband. That would have been like, well, we had this conversation. That's not something I'm going to do. Sorry.
What's the longest like time that you like that you were in, that type of relationship, like with the same people?
So I was with my then husband, and then I had a boyfriend for about a year.
Okay. Did you like the two men better, or did you like the man and the girl better?
I think they're both valid. They're both different. So there's a different type of intimacy and a different type of closeness that you can get when you are, as a bisexual woman, when you are with a woman. There is just a different type of intimacy and a different type of closeness that you can have, mainly because, you know your own anatomy, you know yourself a little bit better, therefore you can know your partner a little bit better. But I also enjoyed my relationship when I had two men as well.
Oh, okay.
Was your husband poly as well? Like how when you told him that, was he like, "Oh, I kind of want to try it too," or was he like, "How did that work?"
So for him, it was a bit harder of a thing to swallow because he was very monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
And when I brought it up, he really wanted that more closed door polyamory, like the don't tell me, don't ask, don't ask, don't tell situation, right? Where I'm not going to ask you and you're not going to tell me, and I don't want to hear about it. But as, we had more of that open communication and we talked more, excuse me, he became more open and would talk with my partners as if they were friends. Usually the term a lot of people use is a metamor. Mm-hmm. So they would be metamors to me. They would be basically to each other. They're just like friends to each other, but they're connected to me. So it brings it back to that like closed V situation.
Right.
Was there ever a moment whenever, like, say you're spending time with your husband, but then you think, okay, or did you guys spend a lot of time together, or did you always just organize your time with one and then the other?
There was a bit of organization of my time between my partners, but there was times where we would just all be together. And doing a similar activity. Like I would be on the couch watching a movie with my husband, and I would be on FaceTime with my girlfriend. So we were kind of partaking in the activities together.
Okay.
And in that type of situation, would your husband converse with your girlfriend, or was it just you and your girlfriend talking to each other, and you and your husband talking to each other?
Yeah. So my then husband would have, usually something to say and throw his hat in for his 2 cents every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
They were friendly to each other. They would say hi to each other, and there would be like a bit of a chat, and they were free to talk as well.
Mm-hmm.
On their own, and they usually did in a friendly way.
Okay.
Seems very chilled out. My husband would never go for something like that.
No, I
Be
feel Mother
so
would
you have to be
never allow that.
really there has to be so much communication, truly, 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 so much communication. And yeah, a lot of men think that it's all fun and games for your girlfriend to get a girlfriend. Purely because, what's the most watched porn category that we see? It's
Yeah.
lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
There is such a level of fetishization into it, particularly with bisexual women. So there just really has to be so much conversation of, hey, it's not that I don't love you, and it's not that I don't care for you. I just also love and care for this person. And it's nothing you are doing wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not supporting me. It's just that this person also I love.
Okay.
Did you ever find yourself where you're like, I guess, like that moment where you're watching a movie with your husband, but you're on the phone with your girlfriend? Was there ever a moment where you preferred to spend time with one or the other? And then, did that happen where you're like, I think I'm going to spend time with this one today and not the other one? Or like, how did you choose who to spend the most time with?
Hi, Poppy. This is the Feral Activity Podcast. I'm just sitting here chatting with my wonderful friends here about polyamory and ethical non-monogamy. So there wasn't ever really a time where I was like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to my then husband. I'm just going to talk to my girlfriend. There was times where I would try to prioritize one over the other. Because it felt like maybe I was neglecting one, or if one expressed to me like, hey, I'm feeling a little neglected, I'm feeling like a little unimportant, and it's like, okay, I'm going to make time to make a date with you. We're going to go out. We're going to spend just our time together. And that would be communicated to the other partner like, hey, Bob is feeling kind of pushed to the side, so I'm going to go on a date with him, and I will talk to you later. Just having that like healthy boundary. But also like there's activities we would do together, like like the movie situation.
Hi, Dark Angel. Hello.
Yeah, Puppy, if you have any questions, feel free to grab a box. Sashi's wonderful, Callie's here, and they're asking some really great questions.
I know, I see the little eyes. I'm sure you're very curious. That's the topic for today's episode. Is we're talking about polygamy. How do you even say that?
Polyamory and ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah, there you go.
I know, it's such a mouthful.
It really is. But I think it's I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to do it, but like I just think like whenever you're in that situation, I know I get upset with my husband.
Yeah, again, there just has to be so much trust. Like you really have to trust your partner. And I think the important thing is too, is it's normal to feel a little jealous. It's normal to have a little bit of that uneasiness or jealousy in terms of polyamorous relationships. But it's, again, we just have to remind ourselves, it's nothing against me. It's nothing that I'm doing wrong. I'm not bad. I'm not wrong. I'm just giving, like, they just also love this person,
Oh, I guess Navy might want to ask. Hey, Navy, do you want to ask some questions?
Poppy, I
I'm just gonna
understand
sit.
that.
It's fire. I'm just gonna sit here and listen. Hey, Callie girl,
Hi.
I've missed you,
I
sweetie pie.
I miss you too.
Oh, Puppy Ghost says I'm monogamous.
monogamous, too
Monogamous.
possessive to
I'm too
share, but not
possessive.
yeah, no, Poppy, that makes sense. As somebody who is getting back more towards monogamy, it's nice to feel, it's nice to have that feeling of possession. It's nice to have that feeling of ownership. Um, I don't think I would be upset if my next relationship was a fully monogamous one. I don't think that that would upset me at all. I also don't think it would upset me to have a polyamorous relationship. I think there's such a hand in hand for both, and I think both are so valid and so important.
You know,
Yeah.
you sound like a stuttering ventriloquist trying to pronounce that word.
Yes,
Yes, I was
Today,
married
Junior.
to my husband for 7 years. We were together for a total of 10. And we have been separated for 2 years now. So I was married for a large chunk of my adult life, as I am 28.
You know, see, I don't think I could ever do something like that because I like my exotic brown girl. So yeah, like I'm not sharing her with anybody.
Yeah. See,
It's
I
definitely
feel,
something that can be hard
Monarch,
for
you
people
don't share
to
anyway.
swallow.
yeah, I
But
feel
there's
like,
so many different types of ethical non-monogamy as well. Swingers are a very big thing. Yes, Poppy, I'm 28. I know. Somebody the other day told me they thought I was 35, and I think I almost cried.
oh,
I was like, I know I look older, but I didn't realize I look that much.
Look, I married a cougar. It's okay.
But there are
Hey,
swingers. That's a type of ethical non-monogamy as well. There are, there are closed triads that can work really well, and just thruples that can work really well.
yeah, I feel like in theory, I feel I would be open to possibly like exploring a poly relationship, but at the same time, I wouldn't say I get possessive. I get not envious, but like
You
if I
get
know
defensive.
like yeah,
Jealous,
like
defensive. Yeah,
jealous.
that's
Thank you.
totally
That
normal.
was
I
the word
think,
I was looking for. Jealous. Like if I know, oh,
yeah,
they're spending time together, like oh, blah blah. Or they're he's, like in theory, I feel like I would be open to trying it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not possessive over who I'm with. I'm more like protective. Like he's mine.
yeah,
It's not like he's property, but like he's mine. He
right,
belongs to me. Nobody
right.
else. Like you can look at him all you want, but don't fucking touch the merchandise, kind of thing.
And I
Honestly,
think a
my
lot of people
wife
have
picked.
some sort of there's a lot of kind of half polyamory where there
Mm-hmm.
are people that say, like, oh, okay, you can go out and you can text somebody for fun, but you're in my bed at the end of the night. And again,
Right.
it really just goes back to that communication piece. Like you really have to be very solid in your relationship. And that's, I think, where unicorn hunting really does not have you have to be very careful because a lot of people use pulling a third
Mm-hmm.
as a way to fix their relationship, and that's not fair to
Right.
the third
And
person.
that to add to that is I've been in a relationship where like he brought it up, but I was like, you know what? I kind of glad you said it because I was thinking about it. Like, but it only was for one night. Like, we made sure that person was, they knew the parameters of it. Like, this isn't going to
Yeah, it
be
was an
like a week,
experimental thing.
like a weekly thing. Like we, just a one and done. That's it. And then like before we started, because we weren't like she would come over and be like, okay, go. We were more like we would hang out, we would have dinner, we would watch a movie, and then just like let things happen naturally.
Yeah,
But it was also like very made sure that like this is my girlfriend. She like will take I guess priority over you like in any
yeah,
acts that we partake in and like well, and we also have the right to essentially throw you out if at any moment we feel you're not respecting our boundaries, kind of thing. And after the fact, the next day, when we were alone again, me and my partner would talk it out, be like, was that like a fun experience for you? Was there anything you didn't like that you felt you couldn't speak up about? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, again, it goes back to that communication piece. It's important to have boundaries before, during, and after scenes. And like those experiences, it's important to have that conversation. I like what Poppy said. He says, I love love and I just want to be with one person. It's already hard enough with one. Listen, I'm polyamorous because I couldn't imagine I'm currently non-partnered because I can't even get one man to like me, let alone thinking of another man to like me. It's just crazy business. So I'm currently like, if I like I said, if I got in a monogamous relationship tomorrow, I would feel very happy and fulfilled if that monogamous relationship was what I was looking for.
Right.
So, well, whenever you were, in that relationship with your husband and then your girlfriend, how long did it take you to like realize, this isn't really working out for me? I'm gonna choose something else.
So there wasn't ever a time where it wasn't working. It just was like a time where we were like, okay, it was nice. This was kind of just a thing and we're moving on. Poppy, I'm bisexual, so I've had both male and female partners along with while I was with my husband.
Yeah, that was the other thing and it was periodically. We didn't do it all the time, but periodically. It was never with the same person, and that person never spent the night.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be more of a swinger dynamic.
Right.
Is what it would be considered.
Because we were both like, we like occasionally having somebody, a third, involved, but we also, like, that's the extent of, like, now our hanging out may last till 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning, but they don't spend the night. They don't sleep in our bed.
Right.
And we were like,
and if that's an important distinction for you and your relationship, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, it was.
Said no emotional ties.
Right, exactly. We would make each other laugh because we're like, occasionally we want a third, not because we don't think our current relationship is spicy enough. We just like the added, emotions of it every now and then.
There is a different energy with 3 people. Yeah, I've had threesomes with both. The only threesome I haven't had at this point is with 2 other women.
Right. Yeah, because we both made each other laugh because it's like we're not possessive, but we're protective of each other. Like so we're like, we don't think we could handle there being a third in the relationship like that. You know,
it takes a lot for sure.
Yeah.
In any long-term situation, it does take quite a lot of trust and a lot of communication to move forward. Versus like a one-night stand would be a lot different.
Well, yeah.
So you mentioned that your husband was not, poly. Was there ever a moment where he saw you and your girlfriend and he kind of was like, I think I want to try that, and so it was like whenever it came to choosing the third or the fourth person, was it always you who chose, or was there a time where your husband kind of was like, okay, I guess I can choose, or
so I was a little more successful in the dating market than he was in terms of partners. So there was a point where there were points where he would have some partners as well. And, we would chat and like be friendly to one another. He would have his partner and me, and I would have, him and my partners. So he kind of adapted to that pretty quickly once we kind of decided that was what we were going to pursue.
Interesting. That is interesting. That's I mean, like whenever I'm just curious because like a lot of the times people don't really realize that like people can they, like you said, they consider it cheating, or like how did you have that conversation where with your husband, knowing that he was not poly, and kind of like securing his feelings and not making him feel insecure, where you're not satisfying me, but I still want to choose someone. Like, what kind of conversation did you have to have with him
Yeah.
to accept it?
So we were new into this. So I wasn't always polyamorous before I knew my husband. That was something that I kind of discovered while we were together, like that I had. So what happened was I had a girlfriend who was a friend of mine that I kind of realized I was developing romantic feelings towards. And I first off carried a lot of shame for that. I felt very shameful. I was like, I'm married to my then husband, who at the time was this really great guy. And I was like, why am I feeling this way if I have this husband and all this and that? And then I just was like, good old Google. And it was like, well, this is polyamory is when, and I kind of did a bit of a Reddit deep dive, if you will, into kind of the lifestyles and things like that. And the main thing to remember is there's nothing wrong with you for loving somebody. I have a big heart. I love all my friends. I love them platonically, and I would love them romantically. Most of them.
You're right. Yeah.
That's funny.
But it was something that I was like, why am I feeling all this shame for having romantic feelings for my friend who's a girl while also married? And there's no shame to be had.
Right.
It's okay to feel my feelings, and it's okay for that. You just have to be with somebody who's also okay for you to have those feelings.
So what would you say to someone that's like, wanting to see if that's something that they would enjoy? What's like something where what kind of piece of advice would you give to someone who's like new to it and they're not sure but they want to explore? What would you tell them?
Communicate to your partner. Usually if that's a partner you live with, that's called your nesting partner. So my husband was my nesting partner, and to open that conversation, be like, hey, I wanted to talk about some things I've been feeling and some things I've been, reading about. I've been reading about polyamory and ethical non-monogamy, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it. And it's never a good idea to be like, hey, I think I'm poly and this is my girlfriend that I'm already in an established and committed relationship with that you had no idea about, because that's cheating. But being like, hey, this is something I feel like I'd like to kind of feel out and pursue and think about is definitely a good place to start.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think communication is important in any relationship. Was there ever a moment in time where, because of the lack of communication, you just had to move on to a different person because they weren't communicating?
I don't think that was the only reason that things didn't work out, but the communication really does have to be such a huge piece. And Daddy Lucifer there in the comments is also a polyam ethical non-monogamy person. He is more current in that side of the lifestyle than I am. I've moved more back towards the monogamous side of things. But it can really be, like he said, it can be a beautiful thing, and it truly can, when there is so much trust and respect and love for your person, for them to go on and love somebody else just as much as they love you is so special.
So whenever I believe in like the 5 languages of love. It's what physical touch, gifts, and then words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, quality time, and acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service. So like, whenever I know like your relationship goes through stages, and so was there ever a moment in that 1 year where you had to give more, quality time to one of them, or vice versa? Or like, how did you know, or I'm sure the communication was important, but did they let you know, like, hey, you're not showing me enough attention, or you're not, I'm not feeling loved by you kind of thing?
So that at that point, that was with my husband and my boyfriend, and we never had a conversation where they felt like I was not giving either of them enough, because my husband was my nesting partner, and I tried to balance as well as I could between time with my nesting partner when he was home, and then I would have like movie nights with my boyfriend while my husband was at work.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever had did you ever have a situation where, like, let's say you're spending time with your husband and then one of your other partners, like, has an emergency, or, like, in that, like, they're having a moment and they just really need to talk to somebody, and they're like, hey, I know like, this is your time with your husband and I'm not supposed to interrupt or whatever, but I'm having a really rough moment. Like, do you allow that and be like, tell your husband, like, they're having a really rough moment, they're in a dark space, like, they just need somebody to talk to? Like, how would you handle, or did handle, like that, if it ever came up?
So we never had that sort of situation, but again, it just goes back to the hey, like this is, the first, second, third times you believe them, you say they are really going through this hard patch, and I'm going to be there to support them. I'm sorry. And just in case, like, if it starts to become a pattern, oh, every time you have movie night with your husband, I'm going to call and say, I'm having this emergency. I'm not having an emergency. I just don't want you to spend time with your husband. Then it's like, okay, well, now we have to have a conversation because this is turning into a thing. And I'm noticing that every time I try and spend some alone time with my husband, you as my partner, seem to be having these emergencies and having these things. So I'm not accusing you of anything, but I wonder how you're feeling during those times when I'm with my husband versus with you.
Right. Like, are you having feelings, like, of jealousy, or, like, envious, but this is how the feelings are presenting themselves?
Yeah. Yeah. And then just sitting down and having that conversation. Like, is it the fact that this is uninterrupted, that I've asked you for this uninterrupted time? Is it, this? Is it that? It's just having those conversations. And bringing up, hey, this is what I'm noticing, and this is what I think may be happening.
Yeah, so Daddy Lucifer says it's making the balance between all parties involved.
Yeah, balance is huge for sure.
How long does it take you to find that balance? Was it like whenever you added, you're a girlfriend to your already marriage, how long did it take you to kind of like figure out how to organize your time and everything? Like, I'm sure it's a
There
learn.
is a bit of like stabilization that needs to happen where you're kind of just having that time, you're kind of feeling out like we do with any dating partner, where you're feeling each other out and deciding like where you want things to go, how you want things to be, stuff like that. Excuse me. It's just like that kind of feeling each other out and deciding how best we can make one another all feel heard.
Yeah. So we always ask all of our guests. Okay, it says it depend. He said it depends on the people involved and vetting correctly.
Yes, vetting your partners is such a huge thing.
So we always ask our guests a couple questions.
Oh, feel free.
So the first one is, what's your favorite position?
Ooh, that's so hard because it's a tie. It's a tie between mating press missionary and archback doggy.
Okay. And then we always ask, if you were in a throuple with two celebrities, who would they be?
Oh, mine is so niche because mine are some really good voice actors and people in the nerd community. So for anybody out there that knows Brennan Lee Mulligan and Liam O'Brien, I would call them both daddy in a heartbeat.
Ooh, that is a good question. So, because you're with, both male and female, was there ever a moment when, you guys were like, in the act and then you accidentally called somebody else's name instead of that person's name? Or like, did there anything ever happen like that?
No slip ups of names in the bedroom. Baby is a general term.
That is true. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. I just think, I don't know. I guess whenever, you're in the heat of the moment, I don't know, maybe it might slip up. I don't know.
Oh, thank goodness, no.
I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened.
I'm sure it's happened somewhere else. Thankfully, not with me.
Oh man. Well, do you have any more questions, Callie?
I think I've asked all the ones that I want to ask, and any ones that came up, they were answered in other ways.
Yeah,
Good.
maybe we'll do a part 2 with the rest of the Voices of the Jungle, because
Yeah,
I'm sure because it's like Mother's Day weekend. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are with their moms and
I would've-
traveling and such.
Yeah.
so-
yeah, I would have loved to have heard questions from AJ.
Oh
I bet-
yeah,
yeah.
AJ. Yeah, AJ is a character. He is very feral.
I
thought my husband.
I'm good for the feral.
See,
Yeah,
I thought my
feel-
husband was feral. No, AJ is feral.
Yeah, I
He's-
feel a part 2 should happen when he can be of attendance.
For sure. And then
Yeah,
Jay,
absolutely.
I hope Jay can make an appearance as well.
Oh yeah, Jay would probably be good for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to come back on and re-answer or answer new questions if anybody has them. I'm always up for that.
Yeah,
I think education is the most important part of the lifestyle. Education and communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You're innocent. You're innocent.
I'm an innocent. Oh, you're not innocent.
I highly doubt that. With a name like that, okay. I don't think anybody believes that.
I don't believe that at all, and I know you.
You're innocent. Mm-hmm.
I'm the Virgin Mary.
And I'm the Pope.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for answering some of our questions. I definitely do want part 2, because I know that they were all excited, and that's why I'm kind of surprised. I'm pretty sure it's because it's Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
But for sure we'll have to schedule a part 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully. Oh, nice to meet you. Okay, well. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Mary. It's crazy.
Wait, did you already know? Oh.
We know each other.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Lucifer and I know each other.
Yeah, I know him as well. I know who that is.
He's a character.
Maybe, hopefully in the part 2, Silver can make it, I think,
he's been super busy lately, so fingers crossed we can get him to join.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have him on. But thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
thank you for having me. This was so fun.
I know. I learned some things. Callie, did you learn anything today?
I learned a few things. Like I said, I have a fair amount of people that I know that are poly, so just through discussions we've had, I knew some things, and some things I'm like, I knew, but like, I didn't know that about it. So I did learn a few new things. Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they don't, I didn't know anything about a lot of things. I don't know a lot. I'm honestly, out of everyone in the feral group, I am the least feral person. My husband, on the other hand, he is feral. So,
well, you don't get into the spicy voice acting community in polyamory without some experience, without some questions.
Oh, you've been helping her, huh? Interesting.
Out here telling my secrets.
What kind of helping are you exactly doing, huh? That's funny. I think we know what that means.
That's for part 2.
Wink, wink, nudge,
That's
nudge.
for
Hi,
part 2.
Spectre.
Isn't that hour almost up? What's...
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. The timer. I
Oh, look at that. We've run out of time.
Oh, look at the time.
You got lucky. You got lucky this time.
Yeah, no, for the record, I would not care if we discuss that, but yeah, it is, yeah, no. I don't know.
We'll have to save it for part 2, huh, Callie?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can discuss it for part 2.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then if we actually met, so I didn't know this, but we actually knew someone that they're also poly and they're a male. So like we're gonna get the male perspective and hopefully we get
Oh,
to
that would be great.
that way we can have both perspectives, not just yours. And so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good episode. I'll definitely maybe in the part 2 they'll be part of it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, their name on here is Cubby.
Okay.
And then, they're with I think Anubis and then Johnny is there. So it's like a
triad.
yeah. So but yeah, we're hoping to have a part 2 definitely, and then maybe in that part 2 they'll make an appearance, you guys, so we can see the differences and the different
Yeah.
perspectives. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that.
But yeah, we'll keep you updated, and thank you, Callie, for always being the voice of the jungle. We always
Thank you.
have at least there. She's a very she's very very professional when it comes to the podcasting schedule and
I
everything.
know. I heard her paper turn, and I was like, "Oh, she wrote down questions."
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
I'm a very it's not that I don't know. I would forget the questions because I'd be like, "Oh, it's gonna ask you this." And I go, "Oh yeah, crap." So
Yeah.
it also helps.
Absolutely.
It also helps with my ADHD to write that stuff down.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing Mother's Day weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and we will
Absolutely.
see you in the part 2.
Definitely.
See you later.
I'll go
See you
ahead
later.
and play us out. Oh, hold on. Oh, shout out to
I'm gonna give
Romeo.
it to you straight.
He made this intro for us.
If you're not listening to Feral Activity Podcast, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you need to stop whatever it is you're doing and go listen to Feral Activity Podcast right now. Right now. It's Feral Activity.